Hidely ho, neighborino. I'm Andy the Palm Springs linguist, and today I'm going to be exploring Springfield in Universal Studios Hollywood while counting down 12 words popularized by The Simpsons. The Simpsons, especially in the early years, has amazing writing, so it is no surprise that this classic show has contributed to the English lexicon in such creative ways. Many of the words on this countdown were coined by the writers of The Simpsons, and some of them already existed, but they were rarely used or had fallen out of use until The Simpsons put the spotlight back on them. Before we get started with our countdown of words popularized by The Simpsons, here are two creative words from The Simpsons that have not become widely used, simply because they're not useful in everyday life. Smarch.
It all started on the 13th hour of the 13th day of the 13th month. We were there to discuss the misprinted calendars the school had purchased.
Oh, lousy Smarch weather.
Smarch refers to a fictional 13th month of the calendar year, which apparently has terrible weather. Fortunately, in Palm Springs, we don't experience Smarch weather at all. While Smarch was started as a typo on calendars at Springfield Elementary, many real-world Simpsons calendars for sale over the years have included a bonus month to commemorate Smarch. Queejibo.
My turn. Queejibo. K-W-Y-J-I-B-O. 22 points, plus triple word score, plus 50 points for using all my letters. Game's over. I'm out of here.
Wait a minute, you little cheater. You're not going anywhere until you tell me what a quidjibo is.
Queejibo. A big, dumb, balding North American ape with no chin.
And a short temper.
I'll show you a big, dumb, balding ape.
Uh-oh, Queejibo on the move.
Since there aren't many big, dumb, balding North American apes with no chin and a short temper out there, well, at least not that I know of, this word hasn't gained the same momentum as many of the other words on our countdown. Okay, let's get started on the countdown. Number 12, sacrilicious.
God, if you really are God, you'll get me tickets to that game.
Idly ho, neighbor. Want to go to the game with me? I got 2 tickets.
Why do you mock me, oh Lord?
Homer, that's not God. That's just a waffle that Bart tossed up there.
I know I shouldn't eat thee, but sacrilicious.
Sacrilicious is a portmanteau blending the words sacrilege and delicious. Sacrilicious refers to food that tastes delicious, but goes against religious practices to eat. People in the Jewish faith might say that pork tastes sacrilegious. Number 11, craptacular.
Come on, kids, let's try the lights.
It's craptacular.
If something is craptacular, then it is so poor in quality and bad that it has become a spectacle. Number 10, neighborino.
Well, circle cut my bacon. Look at all these Yankee doodly dandies. Is there another Vietnam going on? Hello, neighborino to the north.
Neighborino is an affectionate way to refer to a neighbor. It is composed of the English base word neighbor and the Italian diminutive suffix ino. The Italian diminutive suffix ino is much more productive than the English diminutive counterpart e, such as the e in doggy and auntie. Unlike languages like Italian and Spanish, using the diminutive in English often sounds childish. In English, you also have the problem that the suffix e can also be used to create adjectives, creating ambiguity. For example, if we were to coin the word neighbory, rather than sounding like an affectionate way to say neighbor, it more sounds like you're using the word as an adjective to describe something. Okay, Ned Flanders, way to use your linguistic resources creatively to coin a new word. Number 9, meh.
Kids, how would you like to go to Blockoland?
Meh.
But the TV gave me the impression that...
We said meh. M-E-H. Meh.
Meh is a word to communicate indifference or boredom. Many believe that meh is a loan word from Yiddish. Rather than shrugging your shoulders, you can simply say, meh. Number 8, chocolastic.
Now, there are many options available for dangerously underweight individuals like yourself. I recommend a slow, steady gorging process combined with acyl horizontology.
Of course.
You'll want to focus on the neglected food groups, such as the whipped group, the congealed group, and the chocolastic.
Not only is chocolastic a food group, according to Dr. Nick, in some countries it is also a real-world flavor of Pop-Tarts. Chocolastic Pop-Tarts. Number 7, yoink.
We can't give up our dental plan. Lenny, without the dental plan, you wouldn't have that diamond in your tooth.
Yoink! Hey!
If you yoink something from someone, you take it quickly with finesse. Yoink is also something you say when you snatch something away from someone else in a playful way. Number 6, on purpose, baby.
That back seat is pretty tight for the kids. I mean, I don't know what we'd do if we had another baby. I think I want another baby.
And on purpose, baby?
I do.
Okay, this one is fairly self-explanatory. If you've ever asked your parents whether you were a surprise baby or an accident, and the answer was no, then you were an on-purpose baby. Number 5, infroubulate.
And so with Valentine's Day 1 day away, all eyes are on the local Romeo, whose 7-day gift-a-thon has been delighting his wife and infroubulating the rest of us.
If you infroubulate someone, you bring trouble their way. Number 4, impossible.
All right, first academic alert. Wiggum, Ralph.
I won!
No, Ralph. This means you're failing English.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Unpossible is a synonym for the more common impossible. English is a Germanic language, but a substantial percentage of its modern-day vocabulary comes from French and Latin. English has 2 competing negative suffixes. Un is used mostly with words of Germanic origin, and in or im is used mostly with words of Latin or French origin. The word impossible is composed of the prefix im and the base word possible. Since the base word possible is derived from French and Latin, you would expect it to take the prefix im. But when we heard Ralph Wiggum say, "That's impossible," the word impossible sticks out as really weird since it has a French and Latin base word, unpredictably paired with the Germanic prefix un. That is unexpected. Number 3, embiggen.
A noble spirit embiggens the smallest man.
The verb embiggen follows a similar pattern as the verb enlarge. Enlarge is an adjective that has been transformed into a verb by adding the suffix n. The sounds p, b, and m are bilabial sounds, meaning that you use both lips to produce the sound. The writers clearly know their phonotactics because instead of using the suffix n with the adjective big, the writers changed the prefix n to m, since big starts with the bilabial sound b through a process called assimilation. The n in n naturally changes to the bilabial sound so that it is easier to pronounce next to the other bilabial sound, b, at the start of big. Embiggen. Now we're up to number 2, cromulent.
Biggins? Never heard that word before I moved to Springfield.
I don't know why. It's a perfectly cromulent word.
Cromulent is a word coined by the Simpsons. It means acceptable or correct. While cromulent was just a word made up by the Simpsons writers, cromulent sounds like a real word because it ends in a familiar suffix, int, like so many other adjectives in English. Also, the selection and sequence of sounds in the word cromulent follow the typical patterns of English words. Before we get to number 1, here is an honorable mention that didn't make the list because it isn't technically a word, but rather a morphemic structure for creating new words. Infixing. English has many prefixes that attach themselves to the beginning of words, and also has many suffixes that attach themselves to the end of words. An infix is like a prefix or suffix, except that instead of attaching itself to the beginning or end of words, an infix attaches itself to the middle of words. While English can infix expletives, such as the frickin' in abso-frickin-lutely, or the damn in fan-damn-tastic, infixes are otherwise rare in English. However, here are two examples used in The Simpsons. Diddly infixing.
Well, diddly elcum Simpsons. Oh, jeez. He actually wrote diddly.
That was thoughtful.
Ned Flanders often infixes diddly into words such as well diddly elcum or murdiddlyurder. Notice these words include reduplication too. Another example of infixing in The Simpsons is ma infixing.
What I wouldn't give to hear Lisa play another one of her jazzy tunes. Saxophone, saxophone.
Ma infixing gives a word a pseudo-sophistication, such as edumacation, sophisticated, and saxophone. In fact, ma infixing is usimoful. And now, the number one word popularized by The Simpsons. Dole is an interjection used to indicate that an action, especially your own action, was foolish or stupid. Oakley dokley, if you found this episode cromulent, then make sure to click like and subscribe right now. You'll need future episodes of the Palm Springs Linguist to help you deal with the lousy Smarch weather. Now I want to hear from you. What is your favorite word popularized by The Simpsons? Put your thoughts in the comment section below. The Simpsons fun doesn't stop here. While this was a broad view of language use in The Simpsons, I also made a video taking a close look at the classic Simpsons episode Trilogy of Error from a linguist perspective. See you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed our visit to Springfield, home of The Simpsons, here at Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm Andy the Palm Springs Linguist, and I'm going to hit the road back to Palm Springs so that I can be off to the pool.